come in. Please take your seat. What is your choice about the mask?
Sir, I wish.
No, it is absolutely as you wish.
Sir, I'll remove it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
And sit back and relax.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I am curious to know why, in spite of being MSc Physics, you chose Geography as your option.
Sir, actually geography interested more to write this examination, and I found it more relevant as per the demand of the examination and of course in administration as well. So I chose geography, and it also kind of was similar to what skill set I had in writing the examination, so I chose geography.
Okay. In my personal way of looking at things, I think climate change is issue number 1 for the entire humanity, including your and my personal life. Do you agree?
Yes, sir, I do.
Why?
So because climate change is a thing which is directly or indirectly impacting every aspect of one's life in national as well as global perspective. And apart from that, it has a long as well as a expanding kind of impact on things that to control it needs cooperative efforts. So I think that climate change is one of the most important.
Is it already late in terms of doing something about climate change?
So we are a bit late, but not too late to start things. If we start even now, things can go in a better way in future. So I think it is not too late to do things now also.
Scientists are actually saying that utter destruction is inevitable. Best we can do is reduce the destruction. You agree with that?
Sir, kind of. Reducing destruction is the thing we can start with, and then in the due course of time we can move in a way where we can actually draw down to zero, destruction being zero.
So is India doing enough to do it?
So India is in the right path to do things, and India has done, I think India is moving in very right direction with things regarding renewable energy, reducing the usage of fossil fuels, and obviously reducing India's impact on climate. India is in right direction, I think.
Good. Thank you. All my best wishes for you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, will continue.
Good afternoon, Shradha ji.
Good afternoon, sir.
It's nice to see that you are from Raipur. Raipur is the city of kingmakers. या तो चीफ मिनिस्टर बनाते हैं, या मिनिस्टर बनाते हैं, या फिर अरबपति बनाते हैं. Is this perception correct or wrong? Who was the first chief minister of Chhattisgarh? Sorry, Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh. Sir, I'm sorry, I cannot recall it.
Second chief minister of Madhya Pradesh. Have you studied in the university? आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम क्या है?
Yes, sir. Pandit Ravi Shankar Shukla University.
वो नहीं थे पहले?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
उनके बेटे भी थे?
Yes, sir.
उनके दूसरे बेटे भी थे मिनिस्टर?
Sir, I'm
Huh?
sorry.
And he was killed by Naxalites. Are you aware of this fact? Okay.
Sir, I think she is not.
Sir, what?
I don't think you are aware of it.
Aware of what, sir?
Even that you are not aware.
Sir, I'm aware that he was the chief minister. His son was the chief minister.
Son who?
Sir, name I cannot recall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And who got killed by Naxalites?
Sir, he's talking about his son, I think.
No, that's what I'm saying. You are mixing up.
Okay, sorry, sir.
I'm just saying things because they have to be said.
Sorry, sir. It is fair, so.
एक विद्याचरण शुक्ल भी थे, सुना होगा नाम.
Sir, Vidyachरण Shukla.
और अलग अलग हैं. उनका जो बेटा सीएम हुआ वो श्यामाचरण शुक्ला है, और नक्सलाइट के द्वारा जो मारे गए वो विद्याचरण शुक्ला है.
So what is this Naxalite problem? ये कैसे आ गया छत्तीसगढ़ में? वो तो अमरकंटक है, अबूझमाड़ की शक्ति है, वहां तो भगवान रामचंद्र गए थे, तो ये नक्सलाइट कैसे आ गए? Very briefly, you don't want to go too many into detail. What could have been the reason?
So Naxalism started with land reform problems mainly, And apart from this, the presence of the geographical condition there helped to grow it in larger form as compared to other states. And Naxalism grew in the form that there was some lack of security related aspects in that region, and it also was added along because of the socio-economic lack of development in socio-economic aspects.
And there is also a impression or perception, ऐसी मान्यता है लोगों की, Naxalism was kept alive by successive government of Chhattisgarh to make money, keep getting the money from central government to fight Naxalism. तो एक कामधेनु गाय बन गई वो. You think it is correct perception or there is something wrong with that?
So there might be some kind of political interference in Naxal problem, but I don't think that governments would have made it a big issue, because governments have recurrently worked on the Naxalism issue from the day Chhattisgarh was bifurcated as a new state, and the efforts of the government has reduced the impact, the Naxalism related accidents in near base right now.
And they say even today the government is not very keen, state government. Okay, but anyway, that is another point. Is there any lady minister in Chhattisgarh government?
Yes, sir.
There is one?
Yes, sir.
Who is she?
Anila Bhedia, Mrs. Anila Bhedia.
Yeah. Have you heard the name of Pijan Bai?
Yes, sir. I have.
What was she famous for?
Sir, she was famous. She is famous.
She is, sorry, my apologies.
She is.
अब उन्होंने बंद कर दिया है वो, but she is,
She is famous for the Chhattisgarhi interpretation of Mahabharata called Pandwani.
Okay. And she is of the view, उनकी मदद से काफी नक्सलाइट पे प्रभाव पड़ा और उन्हें नक्सलवादी काम जो है बंद कर दिए काफी. Are you aware of this fact?
Sir, I am not aware of this.
Chhattisgarh is full of resources, mineral resources, rare earth, steel, copper. Even they say now there is a possibility of uranium being found there. Okay. And that is why the area is not being developed or not allowed to be developed by some vested interest. You think is this perception correct?
Sir, there are few instances where the presence of resources has created a more advantage for the Naxalist forces and all. So there can be a reason that Chhattisgarh has not been able to achieve its full potential regarding the utilization of resources. But sir, this being said, the resources in Chhattisgarh are being utilized to its advantage in near future. We have seen that various efforts by the government have been taken. Like we have certain kind of projects. We have established various industries there. So I think that things are changing now.
Since the Russian-Ukraine war is going on, there is a lot of perception in India. कोई बोलता हम रशिया के दोस्त हैं, कोई बोलता आप क्यों उनसे दोस्ती करते हैं. Okay, but the fact of life is Russia helped India in economic growth. रायपुर के पास में एक भिलाई स्टील प्लांट है. Who constructed that for India?
With the help of USSR.
USSR. And Ukraine ने पूरी जो टेक्निक है वो उन्होंने ही दी वहाँ पे. Ukraine used to be part of Soviet Union that time. And almost all the steel plants in India which are doing well are the kind courtesy of Soviet Union and Ukraine. What do you think India stand being impartial? We don't take sides. Is that correct or is that wrong? Very speaking.
Sir, I think that India's stand is very correct and very relevant to the present global order, because India presently is trying to is reaching to being a superpower in the near future, and so its relation with all the countries, including Russia as well as USA, has to be in that order itself. So I think that India's position is very relevant and correct.
Sir.
Thank you, sir. I wanted to first ask you, what are the functions of the Rent Control Tribunal?
Sir, Rent Control Tribunal looks into the matter of the rent-related issues in the state. So any kind of issue in which there are two parties who have grievances regarding the rent management, then rent control tribunal is being referred to.
Okay, basically I was asking this from more of a philosophical point of view. Do we need such tribunals when all these issues can be addressed and sorted out through better dispute resolution mechanisms? The simple point is, are we creating too many institutions?
Sir, yes, in terms of tribunals also we have too many tribunals. That is why government has brought Tribunal Amendment Act, and that has actually is trying to reduce the number of tribunals and merge them according to the similar kind of similar structure, similar kind of jurisdiction if they have. So, and the present tribunals which are there, especially in the state terms, I think that those tribunals need to be there to reduce the dependence on judiciary and to reduce the burden on judiciary.
What is your view on smaller states? Do you think Chhattisgarh being carved out of Madhya Pradesh actually helped in the progression? And if yes, can you give me some areas where it has progressed in the last 2 decades?
Sir, yes, I think after bifurcation, Chhattisgarh has done better in terms of development, overall development. For example, in terms of socio-economic development, if we see, especially social sector, then the maternal mortality as well as infant mortality has reduced from very high level in 2000s to presently. And sir, secondly, the tribals, which form a very large part in Chhattisgarh, especially in South Chhattisgarh, they have given better advantage, and when we could have focused, we are focusing more on them, especially after the bifurcation. And regarding economy, also sir, Chhattisgarh is now in present state more better in terms of economy and industrialization, and the resource utilization is better now, I think. And third, sir, also the political structure in Chhattisgarh, it is very kind of stable. So I think that after bifurcation, Chhattisgarh has done better.
So you would recommend Uttar Pradesh follow this model?
Sir?
You would recommend that Uttar Pradesh follow this model and smaller states be carved out of Uttar Pradesh?
Sir, the state of Uttar Pradesh has different kind of perspective, because we have eastern Uttar Pradesh, which is comparatively very less developed, and western, which is more developed. So if we carve according to developmental things, east and west, then again the east has to suffer, because it is all about the kind of cooperative development kind of thing. So I think the things are different for Uttar Pradesh.
In Chhattisgarh and Odisha, some of the areas around this, because you mentioned the word tribals, there's been this huge ongoing conflict with respect to our tribals part of the Hindu system. Okay, and where do they fit into in this ecosystem? What are your views on this?
So tribals are very different from our Hindu system or anything. They have very different kind of structure. They have very different kind of lifestyle as well as beliefs. So I think they are very different, but then they are very, very important part of our social structure, because they are the original people who dwelt there in the forest and have their original lifestyles and culture.
So you mean to say they are not Hindus?
So they are different. We have different structures for both.
Okay. What is the most interesting entry in your diary which you would like to share with us?
Sir, it was regarding the time, the second wave of COVID. I had mentioned all about it. So it was regarding my personal growth, the development I looked upon on myself, and I came up as a better being. So that particular incident I feel is the most important as well as interesting for myself.
2 personal traits or areas which developed during that period as reflected in your diary entry.
So first is I gained this particular quality of being firm, especially in time of adversities. So during COVID I had faced several situations which made me more firm at the time when things are not going as planned. And secondly, sir, I was more into the fact that everything is too momentary and we should not dwell upon things and thinking too much about it. So that 2 things I had gained from that particular incident.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
How are you, Shradha, today?
Fine, ma'am. Thank you.
Shradha, several countries in the world follow one nation, one language formula. Why should not India adopt this, and why there is so much of controversy on official language Hindi? What are your views on this?
Sir, I think, sorry ma'am, I think that one language, one country, one language formula is not going to be that fruitful for India, because India itself is known as a country of diversity. The most precious thing that we own is our diversity, and we have like many languages presently, and along with that numerous dialects which are spoken in India. So I think that one language, one country formula is not going to work for India. Inclusive diversity is going to get hindered.
Don't you think colonial language English is adopted by the entire country?
Yes ma'am, English is presently a kind of language which is able to act as lingua franca for the
Then why should not we agree on our own language, which has been originated from Sanskrit, our ancient language?
Ma'am, Hindi can also, or Sanskrit can also be a language which can become lingua franca in future, but then we have to give it time. It cannot be imposed upon so easily and so in very short duration. It can be a long process where students can be made to learn Hindi on their choice, Hindi or Sanskrit in their own choice, and then only we can have that like for that language as we have.
आपको हिंदी भाषा में पढ़ना पसंद है?
Yes.
छायावाद जो है वो कहाँ से उत्पन्न हुआ था?
Sorry, I'm not aware of this.
आपके सबसे पसंदीदा पोएट कौन है? हिंदी पोएट कौन है? हिंदी कवि?
I have not read any particular book and I'm not so.
हिंदी लिटरेचर नहीं पढ़ा है?
Ma'am, I have not read much Hindi literature.
Okay. Despite having large reserves of coal in India, why does India import coal in millions of tons?
Ma'am, first is because we don't have coking coal, so we need to import coking coal for certain industrial utilizations. And secondly, ma'am, the demand of the coal is higher than what we have, the supply that is present here. And thirdly, ma'am, because of climate change and the related extreme climate conditions that are being observed in the last year, for example, flood, certain coal mines are not functioning to its full capacity. So because of that also we are facing certain shortages of coal, and that is why we have to import.
Who is President of India elected? And when are we going to have presidential elections?
Ma'am, President of India is elected by a proportional representation election system, which is being carried in duration of every 5 years. Ma'am, next presidential election, I am not recalling it correctly, I'm sorry.
Why is he elected? What is the proportion of votes?
Ma'am, I'm unable to. Okay. Sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
हेलो श्रद्धा, वैसे श्रद्धा और सबूरी, which saint am I indicating to?
Sir, I remember Sai Baba.
You come from Raipur?
Yes.
Raipur is a smart city,
Yes.
not as a smart city in the smart city plan, but is it a smart city?
So Raipur, in that term, Raipur is on its way to become a smart city.
What are the criteria used for parameters for the smart city mission?
Sir, it is holistic kind of thing. We have infrastructural parameters. Apart from this, we also have environmental things attached to the infrastructure. We should have green infrastructure, and all the development that is taking place should be in accordance with the environmental requirement that we need. So this is the first criteria. And secondly, sir, the civic issues regarding the waste management and solid waste disposal, these things are also being included in the smart city.
Will there be some human development indices also?
Yes, sir, we should have.
So is it a proper plan or is it a half plan?
Sir, this I'm not aware, I'm sorry.
You studied in an autonomous college.
Yes.
What's the difference between an autonomous college and a deemed university?
Sir, I know about autonomous college, but deemed university criteria I am not aware of. Sorry.
You know, your DAF says that you essay writing event organized by UNIC and Sri Ramchandra Mission. Is this the same as the Ramakrishna Mission?
No, sir, they are both different.
What is the Sri Ramchandra Mission?
Sir, it is a mission. It is a kind of organization which is going on a part to give spiritual knowledge to the people. So it is different from Ramakrishna Mission.
Isn't Ramakrishna Mission also doing the same thing?
Yes, sir. It is kind of same, but this mission is limited to certain geographical areas. It is not as expanded as Ramakrishna Mission.
You studied geography.
Yes.
Why is Tibet called the water tank of Asia?
So because many of the rivers which are the life source of life for the Asian countries originate from Tibet. That is why we call it as life source.
Like a few examples.
Sir, Indus is a river which goes from there. Then we have Satluj, which also originates from Tibet.
Some more important rivers.
So,
Most important.
Brahmaputra river also originates from
What
there.
is the Brahmaputra called while it is in
So Sangpo, it is called Sangpo.
Galvanza?
Okay, so.
And where on the map of Earth would I find the Straits of Hormuz?
So it is in Southeast Asia as far as I know.
Check.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. And as a physicist, very simple thing, I want to see how you respond. When you fire a rocket, which Newton's law is being applied?
Sir, it is third law, action and reaction.
Thank you, Shah.
Thank you, sir.
Will Raipur become smart city when this year's civil service results are announced?
And the settled Shradha makes it.
So this year results, sir, as far as the technical criteria are set, it may take few time, it may take some time, but if I make it, I will have a good contribution in that regard.
What is spiritual education?
So spiritual education tries to inculcate the spiritual themes in an individual. It is like some questions which do not the formal education system inculcates. The peace of mind and the mental health part is more dealt with, and also regarding the some part of spiritual education is also related to the religious system or the whatever one follows through.
Isn't everything indeed temporary?
So kind of, yes.
You said you changed that position.
Sir?
You said in response to the question on diary writing that I used to think that everything is too temporary.
No, sir. I got to know that everything is so
Got to know.
temporary.
Okay. It seems you also tried to give CDSE at a point of time.
Yes.
So you were serious about joining army?
No, sir, I was not. Honestly, I was not.
Okay. Care for just about one question on physics. What is God particle?
Sir, exactly, I'm unaware. I'm sorry.
Okay. And what is Article 25 of the Constitution?
Sir, it is a right to religious. It comes under right to religious freedom. It is a fundamental right.
Under that article, tribals are Hindus or not Hindus?
Sorry, sir. I'm not.
Okay. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, please come in, Shradha. Take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
And now relax, at least now,
Yes.
and enjoy.
Yes, sir.
And the most important suggestion for the interview is to have this bearing when you actually give the interview. हंसमुख रहते हुए.
Yes, sir.
अब मुझे पर्सनली मुझे डर है कि शुरू में आप हंसमुख थी, मुझे डर है कहीं मैंने बिगाड़ दिया. Right?
Sir, I got bit
हाँ,
nervous after that.
नहीं होना है.
Yes, sir.
और वही तो है टेस्ट ऑफ नर्व्स.
Yes, sir.
One principle I suggest there is playing one ball at a time. So, रविशंकर शुक्ला जी की चर्चा जारी है. हो गया वो. Move on. But you did not. Actually, वो जो sense of getting disturbed, I'm afraid you tell me or you correct me whether I'm wrong in that impression that at that discussion you got disturbed and never recovered throughout the interview.
Yes, sir. I actually.
Yeah,
did
so that is the whole name of the game.
Yes.
Okay, वो हो गया, जो हो गया सो हो गया. Everything is too temporary. So once you move past that question, focus on the next coming question. नहीं होना है डिस्टर्ब हर हालत में. As a person, let me say, I'm sorry, I am responsible for you getting disturbed.
No, sir.
But like if I'm sitting here and sir is asking कि पहले MP के पहले चीफ मिनिस्टर कौन थे, and you are reacting, no, I don't know. Then he says his son also was. You are saying ha ha. Then another son got killed in Naxalite attack. You are saying ha. I'm getting impression all the time that no, you actually don't know. And the issue is, if you don't know, don't keep saying yes, yes. हिंदी में जो अच्छा शब्द रचना अच्छी है ना कि हाँ में हाँ भरना. Don't do that. Not here and not in life. Unless you are sure. Otherwise, it is okay to say, I'm sorry, sir, I don't know.
Yes.
But the vibes I sensed, and I'm attentive in your interview, so I sense that no, you actually don't know. Not the name of the first CM, not his son who became CM, and not another. And the mixing up came out that you thought it's the same son who was CM,
Yes, sir.
who also got killed by Naxalites.
Yes, sir.
और just हाँ कहते जा रही हो कि हाँ, yes, yes, don't do that. Not here, not in the civil service, not in life. Actually, there is a beautiful book with the name "Don't Say Yes When You Want to Say No." It is written by a couple, and the psychological point is called assertiveness training. How do you assert yourself? So that one, and then recovering through the rest of the interview.
Yes, sir.
Then we do want to say, and also because you have time on your hand, right? Ample time.
Yes, sir.
So nothing to be disturbed. You can turn it to your advantage that you have time on hand. And the actual performance on 17th of May is like outstanding. Better than your best. That is our goal.
Yes, sir.
So brush up on state issues also.
Yes.
Various Chhattisgarh issues.
Yes, sir.
Including culture, music, etc. You came across like you were not very much aware about Tejan Bhai. Are you?
Reason why I'm aware of.
That she has stopped singing
Sir, that no, sir. That particular fact I was not aware.
and that she used our heritage to deal with people to wean them away from Naxalism.
Yes, sir. I was not aware of this.
But Tejan Bhai, you have heard. Okay, her extraordinary voice, man. Extraordinary. What a strength in that voice. Let that strength be also part of your being. Presidential election, let me tell you that you are among those rare youngsters who answered in the first line, precise one, that it is proportional representative, but then not knowing when it is coming up,
Yes, sir.
because it's this July it's coming up.
Yes.
Any chance you know what the present president's daughter does?
No, sir. I don't know.
She's a flight attendant.
Yeah.
It was in the news.
Yeah.
She quitted her job, that I know.
No, she didn't
Now
quit.
she's still flying.
She had
Yeah.
to something.
No, Air India relocated her, assigned her another job.
Okay, okay.
But after the father was president,
She
she
had.
still continued, and nobody knew, nobody was even aware that she is president's daughter.
was in the newspaper.
Yeah, and it was in the news. We did discuss that essay, UNIC and Ramchandra mission and all, it will come up. Essentially, all of us are in agreement that please brush up like basic issues. In the interview situation, absolutely anything can come up, but the two sources of questions are your own gap, that is the starting point of your questions, but anything based on that gap, that can take us in any direction. For example, I had noted, if time permitted, we are always short on time. Otherwise, I had noted that your father is originally from Jaunpur.
Yes.
And we may choose to ask questions on Jaunpur. जौनपुर की लोक कथाएं हैं ना, बहुत प्रसिद्ध हैं, right? And you are not aware of it. I am seeing it that you are not aware of it. Jaunpur की लोक, or how did Jaunpur get the name Jaunpur? I don't like how it got the name Jaunpur, but it's not about my personal liking. And the whole historical background, etc. or whatever. Also, mother is from Prayagraj.
Yes, sir.
Very
In
much.
fact, I was tempted to ask why it is Chhattisgarh. मैंने कहा
Again, yeah.
गढ़ का कुछ
Yeah.
गढ़ के बारे में पूछ लेते हैं.
Yeah. Why is
मुझे
it
नहीं
called?
पता एक्चुअली, मुझे नहीं मालूम छत्तीसगढ़ क्यों रखा था नाम.
Why is it called Chhattisgarh? Find out. It's very clear that you don't know.
So Chhattisgarh, because it is accepted that it has got 36 forts, but archaeologically it is not proven.
Yeah.
And also because Chedis used to rule there. So it is thought that because of that it was earlier called Chedisgarh and it became Chhattisgarh in due course of time.
Yeah.
But autonomous colleges,
Yes.
this is a question waiting to be asked.
Yeah.
Difference deemed university, role of the NSC, accreditation.
Which one?
Autonomous colleges.
Yeah.
Another such area that didn't come up today is, and I had noted it, that you are not opting for many services.
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm already in services. That time I did not get service, so I did not mention.
And you are in which service?
IP DAPS, Indian Post and Telecommunication,
Accounts and Finance.
It doesn't come in your DAF.
No, sir.
Not even in DAF 2.
Sir, I got through in reserve list.
Yeah.
In DAF 2, there is no column
The
of.
one that is declared late.
Yes, sir. So in DAF 2, there is no column of this. So only 20 days it has been that I have joined the services.
Then a little
But you
bit
have
on
joined?
your
Yes.
service.
Sir?
You have joined?
Sir, I am undergoing training.
Yeah. And sir is asking something? Yeah.
No, just that. Then questions on the service will come.
Yes, sir. That is what I wanted to ask because it is not mentioned. So I should in somewhere I should mention.
You should. See, look for a proper opening. But the fact that you are selected shows you in a positive light. So wait for a proper opportunity or something. But having done that, use these days to prepare for all sorts of possible issues regarding the post and telegraph accounts and finance service. And as usual, the range is infinite, practically infinite. So questions about the service, maybe some basic laws, especially when it comes to post and telegraph. Isn't the law pretty old? There are movements to now have a new law. Otherwise, our Post and Telegraph Act is British Kaleen Kanun. Then, what is the role of this service? What is the training you are undergoing? And overall, that can take the panel to literally any issue pertaining to this. For example, the 2G scam.
Yes, sir.
Or the issue of spectrum. Why was it considered to be a scam? So the role of CAG, UPSC candidate will be expected to know about CAG, the constitutional role and the role played by Vinod Rai particularly. Or also retrospective taxation is about IT telecom companies. And the Supreme Court ruling, etc. can come up. Any chance you know this officer named Mandar Deshpande?
No, sir. I don't.
He is your senior from the same service.
Okay, sir.
Just in case you want, I can share his number, etc. with you and you can ask Occasionally he comes to the academy also to train.
Okay, sir.
Right now he is PS to Ashwin Varshney, Minister for PNT. But my point is prepare well for the service. Even at the risk of repetition, I am saying that you are selected is a positive point. Let that positivity come across. But having mentioned, also prepare for various issues. The academy is at Faridabad. Huh?
Yes, sir. Presently, phase 1 is at Faridabad.
So you are staying there and your training is going on.
Yes, sir. We have got this 4 days long weekend leave. So I came from work today.
Good. Very good. Okay, another small suggestion on which all of us agree is, if the CD issue comes up, CDAC, the suggestion is don't say in the interview, I was not interested.
Okay, sir.
We will never say give any dishonest answer, but you can say, sir, I looked upon it as my practice for civil service exam. You have given CDAC.
Yes, sir. I have.
The question may come up. So just saying no, I am not serious about it, will not be appreciated, may not be appreciated.
So, sir, saying this that I had given for practice.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sir, I looked upon it as my practice for civil service.
Okay, sir.
Done?
Thank you, sir.
So, Shraddha,
Yes.
all our best wishes for you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, if you may get me in contact with sir.
Mandar?
Yes, sir.
His name is Mandar Deshpande.
Okay, sir.
Nine 4-2-1-2 80-436.
Okay, sir.
And as and when you talk to him, let your first sentence be that I have told you.
Sir.
I will see if I can talk to him
Yes, sir.
before that. But tell him I gave you the number. He is a 2012 batch, like it means almost 10 years senior
Yes,
to
sir.
you. But he will talk to you or make you aware of which are the issues which I should pay attention in order to prepare for the interview.
So secondly, I also wanted to ask that this time in the preference, I've also filled IDAS and ICAS. That time I had not joined service and I was not aware of the service profile and everything like that. So sir, this may come up as a question that already being in account services, why am I opting for other account services?
The matter of fact answer is the one you just gave.
So this can
Absolutely. Absolutely. While filling up the form, I was not yet selected. That was announced later on. So you find the entry there. It's a matter of fact. Right?
Thank
So
you.
Shraddha, we look forward to your success.
Thank you, sir.
I repeat my regrets for having disturbed you.
No, sir, thank you so much.
All the very, very best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.